Look, I want to go to the US because while the Democrats are doing all they can to assure the world the president is not a dead man walking, poor old Joe Biden got his holidays all mixed up today. He mistook July 4 for Christmas at an official White House function to mark the occasion.
And we give thanks to our Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States, the extraordinary President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Ho, ho, ho. Happy Independence Day.
Oh dear, Christy, ho, 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 he says he thinks it's Christmas. It's not, it's July 4. He's really lost it, hasn't he?
Well, it's nothing like Christmas for the Democrats this week, Danica. It's not a celebration of any kind. Look, Democrat strategists in the United States are holding their breath. We've seen Democrats go out, some publicly. A lot of them would like to, I think they're privately saying and relaying to journalists that their view is that he should resign. They have said to get over the bad pictures of the debate and to recalibrate his public image, that he needs to do more spontaneous, off-the-cuff events that aren't planned, that don't have a teleprompter, so they can re-engage people with pictures of Joe Biden actually knowing what he's talking about. Now, everybody seems to think that that's a good idea. I think it's a massive risk, and they're waiting for the polling to come back from those crucial Midwest states. Of course, he's always going to poll well in New York. Kamala Harris is always going to poll well in California. But the election is going to be won or lost on the swing states in the Midwest. And that polling hasn't come back since Friday yet. And I think once it does, we're going to see a whole lot of Democrats putting their name to some pretty fierce comments.
Well, we've already seen one congressman come out publicly this week, only one, but I've got to show you the latest cover of The Economist. They're saying no way to run a country, and look at that, it's got a walking frame. I mean, that speaks volumes, Claire. At the same time, Biden has told concerned allies that he needs to sleep more, work fewer hours and avoid events after 8 p.m. I'm not sure how that's going to allay the fears of allies, do you?
No. And look, they have protected him now for years and years, and the curtain has been well and truly lifted. And the world is just seeing actually what we've been seeing for quite a while now. And yes, you're running to be elected the head of running the free world. And in the most important job interview ever, you've said, I actually just need to slow down a bit. I can't do engagements after 8 p.m. So look, in a very serious note, I've said he's clearly got a diagnosis, I think, of some kind of dementia and so forth. And the thing with those diagnoses is they can take off and deteriorate so quickly, which clearly it has even over the last 6 months or weeks or days, is that the public deserves to know that before they vote.
Absolutely.
I mean, these are conditions which ultimately can kill people. Dementia can kill people.
Yeah.
And so if you're voting someone in for a 4-year term, and I just think it's completely treating the American people like idiots.
Well, it's treating them with contempt, isn't it? Because I don't know who they're voting for, really. Is it him or Kamala Harris? Now, look, climate activists, we know they're pests. They need to find a job. But these group of idiots have been climbing onto coal freight trains in New South Wales for almost 2 weeks, bringing hundreds of passenger services in the Hunter to a halt. And now it's been revealed of the 21 arrested, more than 3/4 are blow-in from other states. And Christy, these people are professionals. They're hopping from state to state. What more can be done here?
Well, of course they are, Danica. There's a professional activist class in Australia, and they pretend to be grassroots activists in certain communities that are affected. And as you've pointed out, I don't think there's a whole lot of those people who are actually from the Hunter Valley in New South Wales. We've seen on the nuclear announcement released the last couple of weeks politically that a lot of people in the Hunter Valley, when they talk about energy, are supportive of coal. They're supportive of nuclear, replacing coal because they want industry. They know it underpins their economy. I haven't heard one single person say, I support people jumping on top of coal trains.
Yeah, and right now we actually do need our coal to keep the lights on at least. They're professionals, Claire, and this is the problem. I believe they're becoming more and more annoying. I believe there needs to be harsher penalties because right now they're getting a slap on the wrist, off they go, and then they blow in from another stage. What do you think?
Why can't they find local people to do this? I mean, why do they have to there can't be that many of them in the country. They have to all come together. These guys here got a fine, I think, of $750. So I just feel for the local businesses that were impacted, the commuters, those $750 should be going to them, and it's not enough. And I don't understand why they can't have some focus groups or feedback on the fact that it doesn't work for them. Like their marketing campaign of trying to convince us all actually just does the opposite. And I just the lack of kind of the ignorance and the stupidity to not see this isn't working, guys. Like let's change and do something else, and they just keep doing it.
Yeah, and driving the rest of us nuts at the same time. Now, look, this is a funny one because a UK columnist wants all children under 10 banned from restaurants after 7:30 p.m. to stop selfish mums and their noisy kids ruining them for the rest of us. Now, she says, I don't think it's an unreasonable demand. An evening spent enjoying good food and wine with friends is a refuge of peace and calm, where the stresses of the day can melt away amid the laughter and chatter. The last thing we want is a noisy pack of rampaging infants giving us a collective headache. Well, Christy, I mean, look, you go to a restaurant, there's kids around, it might annoy you, but do you think it's fair enough to ban them after 7:30?
Oh, highly controversial, isn't it, Danica? Look, when I worked at Qantas, we used to joke in the PR department that, gosh, wouldn't it be great if we could have a child-free flight, and we wonder how it would sell, because we would get so many complaints from people through the customer service lines saying you should ban children from your flights. But of course, I mean, you can't. You're a restaurant, you're in the business of marketing people being able to come there and enjoy themselves. But you know, a lot of people, they have certain hours for certain demographics of the community. We saw seniors hours during COVID. I wonder how a restaurant would go if they had, this is child night and this is non-child night. It's equally discriminative against both people who have children, who don't have children. I don't know how it would go. I think this is a tricky one to try and sell to the public, Danica.
Yeah, I completely agree. Claire, we're almost out.
No, it's not controversial.
No,
the child psychologist says this is a fabulous idea, and it's not every restaurant, just some. And actually, this woman was talking about like 4-year-olds in hatted fine dining restaurants after 8 o'clock. Like, what are they doing? They should be in bed.
You think you've got kids? So
That's right.
Keep them home, you reckon?
Absolutely. Get a babysitter.
There you
Absolutely.
go. Mum needs a night out. That's what it is. Claire Rowe, Christy McSweeney, good to have you both on. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.